morning, welcome to another beautiful homesteading day. The sun is shining, the skies are blue, and we are going to attempt to do something today. Say attempt because we are very early in the planning stages, and we are going to explain to you how we're going to plan it, so it will be a from conception to completion project, assuming we complete it. So stick around. This is going to be a very good video. So we transformed the deck by putting a temporary roof over it, using a tarp that, again, in full disclosure, was provided for us, and I will put the information of the company in the diddly-da below.
In the diddly-da?
Yeah.
Okay.
My first impressions of this tarp is that I'm very impressed with it. It seems very well made, and I don't know if the people that sent it to me had this in mind, but it will definitely get a very good evaluation period, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it will be here in the elements, and it's going to be pelted with a tree material, and it's going to be rained on, and all those neat things. Based on my first impression, I think it's going to come out with flying colors. I don't really have any concerns. How about you, ladies?
No, it seems like a well-constructed, thick. It's a nice thick plastic material, so I think it should stand up to quite a bit.
So we're going to tell you, of course, we're going to do a follow-up. Before we replace it with our permanent roof, we're going to tell you what we think of this tarp. As always, stick around. We're going to show you every step of the way of how we did this. So today we turn a tarp into a roof. This is going to be a very great episode. So one of the problems we have, as you have noticed, is that every weekend we have to clear this, because even if you clear it the night before, we have a lot of trees and they cover the deck. And it is not just the leaves, we have nuts like walnuts, and they can become dangerous if you step on them.
And sometimes they fall and hit you on the head, as my son discovered.
Sometimes they do, yes. The other problem we have is that, you might want to come very close here. There is a lot of dirt and often water that's collecting here because our eave is not very large, and this starts doing a little damage to the doors. So we want to avoid that. So after we put a roof, we are going to clean it and keep it. Oops, I gave up the project, didn't I? So we plan to do a structure for a roof, and today we are going to start it with a temporary solution, which is this nice tarp. In full disclosure, this was sent to me for free, but the idea is that the tarp is much cheaper than roofing material, right?
Right.
So even though we didn't pay for this, and I will tell you how much this goes for and who the manufacturer is, who the seller is. So even though we didn't pay for it, even if you were to pay for it, it is not going to be as expensive as a roofing material.
Right.
But we're going to build it with the thought that soon we're going to put a roof on it.
Yep.
Maybe to match our deck of the house,
Yeah.
metal roof, right?
And to add to that, so you can see, I mean, you referred to the short eave that we have.
Yeah.
It's only about maybe 7 inches away from the fascia of the shop, and so when the doors, get any kind of rain from, water from the rain, then the bottoms of these doors, which are made of OSB,
And you can see it
can start to get wet and a little swollen. They're absorbing water even though the doors are shut. So that's not a good thing for OSB. It doesn't like water. It can start to rot, and we don't want that. Yep.
Now this is not going to be a very heavy duty thing. We are going to use 2x4s for pretty much the whole construction, because that's all we need. The long-term roofing we plan to use, which is the metal roofing, is not heavy at all. 2x4s are more than adequate for that build. One of the problems we're trying to solve is the need to daily vacuum or blow away the leaves that fall on our deck. We live in a forest, as you know, and leaves are a necessary evil, but it's getting tiresome to have to clean the leaves every time we want to use the shop, every time we need to go in and out of the shop. And it's not only the leaves, but as you can see there, we have big nuts that prevent the doors from opening correctly, and also they are very easy to step on and just twist your ankle or do something else. So we want something over this small deck that will allow us to be out of the weather when it's raining, and also will not make it necessary for us to daily come here and take care of the leaves. Was holding for dear life. So this is the quick way to clear the deck. And now our next step is to open the tarp so we have a good idea, a good sense of the dimension of the tarp, right? It's supposed to be a 10 by 8 or an 8 by 10. So we're going to open it.
With some cord.
Yes. As we open the tarp, we can get a very good sense of the quality of the tarp.
Trying to save the frog.
From what?
My dog.
This tarp is made of a very nice thick material. So far, we like it. The tarp was vacuum packed for shipping, which made it very easy to ship and move around once we receive it. But it allows us to also get a good sense as we're pulling on the tarp, and we see it is very well made. It doesn't have any tendency to tear. Very impressive so far. We hope we'll continue seeing very good quality products like this.
Smells like a plastic pool.
Indeed it does.
Like the what?
A plastic pool.
Plastic pool, the plastic floaty, you know.
Okay, we're going to open it. I will be right back with you. As you can see, we're not gentle with this tarp. We're pulling very hard here to take it apart from its original vacuum packing, but we see no stretching. We see that this tarp is behaving very well, and again, this seems to be of a very nice, it is a reasonably thick material. Because if we tear the tarp, there will be no project today.
Yeah, but it'll tell us about the quality, right? Then the people who sent it to you will know. So as you can see, opening the tarp is a little bit of a challenge.
Kind of vacuum sealed.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it hard.
But it makes it easy to ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got a 2x4 leaning up here, and then we've also got a section of a 4x4 post. We're trying to determine which one we like better for appearance and scale for this building. And we are split, I think. I don't know, you haven't given your vote. In fact, I did. Oh, you like the 4x4? I like the post. I think it looks better. And we were just discussing we would only need 2 of them because of the way we're going to do this. And then we would have a frame around the top of that would be of the 2x4s, and then we would have the supporting members come out from. So that's the first decision, right? Your material. Mm-hmm. And we have not purchased material. We have to go and purchase them after we decide. So the choices are a 2x4 or a 4x4 for a post. Mm-hmm. And I guess the 2 votes against my vote is the ladies like the 4x4. We are going to start by attaching the ledger board to our shop, and we put it into the middle of the shop so we have an equal distance on either end. The trick for nailing is find where the sheathing is nailed to the studs inside. And you can see here it's easier to see, that's why we did it this way. So it is right about here for us, okay? So use one of your 4x4s against your structure. Make sure that it is level, and ours is, right?
Plumb.
And then go up and make a line. I don't know if the line is visible there. This has to be where our hanger is, right? The side of our first hanger.
Yep.
Because we're going to put them in the outside of the...
Right. And so to specify, we're also putting our post. This is not where the post is going to go, but on the other end of our deck, which is the front. The post will be on the outside, so we put this here on the outside to help us align those,
right.
That with our is it a header board? What is it? Framing board?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So temporarily you attach the hanger by knocking the 2 tabs that are on either side. We'll show you them close up in a moment. Yep. And then use a scrap 2x4 or whatever material you have that you're going to hang to make sure that it is, because these are kind of open when you buy them, right?
Right.
To make sure that there is a nice snug fit.
Right.
And then we're going to use nails to attach it to the ledger board. Using joist hangers is the best and the strongest way to complete this project, and we're showing here the tips on how to use it. A normal hammer will work here, but using a palm-held nailer makes the job much easier.
The hangers have a little bit of an opening in them when you purchase them, so it is important to make them the correct width so you're not going to have a big play in your joists. And what you're seeing here is we're using a scrap, you saw that using it a moment ago, to make sure that we close the hanger to the correct dimension. Again, this whole process is made much easier by using the hand palm nailer versus using just a manual hammer.
Three of us to be doing things, so we don't have anyone to record, right? But here is the gist of it. Plumb and level without attaching your 4x4. And then if you remember in the previous step, we put one of our hangers there.
Yep.
Then use one of your boards to come across.
Put it that end in the hanger, and then bring it across and hold it up to your post.
Make sure that it has an angle because you want the water to drain.
Right.
And then you're going to cut it on the mark that you mark with your angle.
Right.
The top mark.
But you have to make sure that your post is plumb, and then you're going to make a mark right on the post at the top, and that's where we're going to cut it because it needs to be a little shorter than it is, and we also want it to have a little bit of a downward slope.
I wanted to show you what I was describing, so here it is. This joist is not attached, but we're using it to make sure that we have the correct angle and for water drainage and mark the post so we make no mistakes.
So this is an offcut from one of the posts, and here you can see the angle. This is the angle we have. It's not a great angle, it's about a degree and a half.
Yeah, it's super small.
But it is the right angle for what we need here. I mean, it will allow the water to drain correctly.
The fasteners you use here are very important. You must use exterior grade kind of lug screws because this provides a lot of strength, a lot of structural integrity to the whole structure. So do not go just for nail heres, do not chip out. These are about $1 a piece, but it is important to use the right fasteners to have the best result possible. In a lean-to structure, the side that is not attached to the other building must be very sound. That's why we take extra care here to have very good attachment points to our deck.
So as you can see, we are level in both directions. Plumb, level. So we are happy with this, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Good.
This is temporary and we're using nails just for speed of production. We're going to follow up with lug screws here because this will carry the weight of the roof even though there is not going to be a lot of weight in the roof. But the nail makes this process much faster, much easier, and it is a nice way to speed up your process and keep it to a minimum any chance for injury.
I got it lined up there. I just smashed my finger with your gun.
So we finished the first part of our framing. Here is our first member. And we are going to repeat the same process. As you can see, we've attached it here. We are secure. And we're going to repeat the same process on the other side. Now, because I'm certain that our ground here is not level, we're going to have the measurement and everything again. All right, friends, the main structure is finished for us. And if you only want to use the tarp as a removable roof for your place, you don't have to do anything else. We want to build it up so in the future we can put more permanent roofing, correct?
Yep.
But here it is. You can see now the finished structure.
You can see this is very well built and we will have no difficulty putting a roof, a more permanent roof on top when we're ready to do so. So do not cut any corners. Build this correctly as this is the most important part of your structure, and then you can expand as you need.
Again, for a temporary roofing solution, that is all you need to do, right?
Yep.
We are going to continue. We're going to put some more joist hangers here and on the other side. And we're going to take it from there. A pneumatic palm nailer is a very nice tool that usually doesn't go ooh, but you know.
No.
This doesn't went ooh. But anyway, for something like this, there is no better tool. Would you agree?
No, it makes it go very, very fast and you don't kill your arm when you're doing it.
Okay, excellent. Hardware store doesn't have what you want.
You make it yourself.
To make it. So we were looking for hooks, but they only had eye.
Of this thickness. They do have other like cup hook style, but they were much thinner than what we were looking for. So we got these thicker eyes, and now we're going to make them into hooks.
The versatility of a rotary tool is very evident here, as you can quickly make modifications to metal equipment, as we're doing here, turning an eye hook into a normal standard hook that we can use for our tarp. So you don't have to have a Dremel, of course. I've always been very happy with Dremel, but any rotary tool will do.
That hit me in the nose.
And there you go. Now we have a hook, and we need to make 8 of those, so we're going to keep at it.
I find it very intriguing how a small thin circle like this, circular device like this, can cut through fairly thick metal. I've cut through very thick metal using my Dremel tool. It is a great tool to have, as I said before, that I use very frequently, and probably I'm ready to upgrade. This is an old 3000 Dremel, and a lot of other companies make them, so it doesn't have to be a Dremel at all.
And as you can see, lots of sparks are flying, so for sure with the eye protection. And these do get hot as you're working on them, so you want to give them a couple seconds to cool down before you start trying to touch them with your hand.
And I've caught myself on fire doing similar things before, so
We even have that on camera, didn't we?
we did. So with the magic of Dremel, you go for this, which is something we couldn't use, to this, exactly what we need. And we have a lesson learned today. The stores have started doing something that is ridiculous. Sometimes they say 2x4, sometimes say 96 inches, sometimes...
You mean, it'll say 2x4x8, so we wanted an 8 foot, and
Right.
it'll say 96 inches. Other labels will say 8 feet as opposed to the 96 inches.
And then they're mixing them in the store. So we end up getting the wrong dimension lengthwise, which are a little too short for our span here. So we're going to just have another trip to the store to buy the correct length of lumber. So lesson learned, ensure that you buy the right length, because there are so many different ways they present them now that's easy to make a mistake. They present them in inches or in feet, and then they mix them in the bins. So buyer beware.
You ready? Yeah.
So we're putting a nail in through this toenail hole right here, as well as the 2 on the bracket itself, just to make it a nice tight fit so that it doesn't move around.
Apparently I missed one over here. There we go. So we're at the point where we're ready to start installing this plastic tarp, and it has grommets very nicely installed all the way around it. And for this edge of the tarp that's going to be up against the house, we're actually putting it between this and underneath the fascia. So we've marked where the grommet holes are, and we're going to drill a pilot hole there for each one of the hooks that we adjusted to meet our needs earlier. And once the hooks are installed against the fascia, not in the 2x4, then we're going to be able to put the grommets over that, and it'll hold it in place. And so what we've done right now is we've got one. We're also trying to place them the equidistant up from the fascia board, header board, and so we've got a spacer there just to help us stay in line.
Is that a square?
It is. Okay, so you can see that's how easy it is. And then again, we're taking the little eyes that we adjusted to make into hooks and manually putting them in there. And then once we get those put across the front of the shed, we're gonna install the tarp.
There are 8 of those.
Yep. So we've installed all of the hooks in their marked locations. And then we're going to start installing this plastic tarp going up here, and it's going to slide right on over that. Just going to keep going along.
Oops, sorry.
No worries. There we go. And we'll just keep doing that until we've got them all done.
So we have taken some screws with washers and we've attached the tarp through the rings that it came with, and that's going to hold it nice and secure over the top of these 2x4s. And we've done that all the way along, and you can see that it's holding it nice and taut. And we're going to straighten that out when we move to the other side.
All right, so we have everything installed. Just wanted to be up here and show you the bird's eye view. As mentioned, we used the rope that came with the tarp and started threading it over there. We wrapped it around the front beam through the grommets. The only one that we haven't done is that one, and it's just because it was right over a beam. So we just put another screw with a washer there to hold it in place. Doing this and all the way across, and then each side is held in place by another screw with a washer. Here's the inside view, like that. And one of the things I really like, because it is clear plastic, it still gives us plenty of light while we're working out here. So that could definitely be something to think about as we're looking forward to bringing in the permanent structure.
So this is our finished product. The project was fun, other than our mistake. Was it really a mistake, or was just...
It was an oversight on our part based on the big box store and how they're labeling things.
But anyway, other than this little mishap, it is a one-day project, especially for our size of our deck is 8x8. And I think it is definitely a nice temporary solution that the minimum can tell you if you want to expand this or not. Like, is that too little? Is it the right size, you know?
It's definitely not in our dimensions because of the way we attached it to our shop. It's not for someone really tall.
No, but for us to be out here on the deck, be protected from a little bit of rain or whatever, it's already doing its job. There's some leaves up there.
Are you calling me short?
No, but none of us is over 6 feet.
I have plenty of clearance.
Yeah, none of us is over 6 feet tall, so this is
So if you're
fine.
more than 6 feet tall, don't come and visit.
So my uncle should not come here now.
That's all the thing, right?
No,
Don't come and visit us if you're too tall. But in any case, it's the concept that we wanted to present to you. It's a unique way of using a tarp, I think.
Yeah.
But the good thing is that after we're done, when we're ready to go to the full, the permanent solution, we still have a tarp that you can use it to drape over a vehicle or drape over something you want to protect.
The tarp has not been damaged at all.
And I really like this tarp because it has this nice rope all around in every side that goes all around the tarp.
To reinforce the edges.
Right, and I think that's very good because the grommets are in the very decent distance from each other.
Yeah.
It definitely felt like a very well-made tart.
Tart, yes.
A tart, yeah, tart. We'll definitely let you know as the days pass. I think with the sun it's going to get a little more taut. We did not intentionally over-tighten it because of that. We didn't want to put too much stress on the tarp one because it's going to be in the heat and in the sun.
And so that could tighten it up some.
Right, and we didn't want to break our beautiful frame here. But in any case, this is our kind of funny, unique project for today. If you enjoyed this project, give us a thumbs up. If you didn't, what's wrong with you? No, give us a thumbs down. 2 thumbs down, actually.
2 of them, yeah, 2 of them.
Share, like, subscribe. Let us know, do you like things that are out of the wall like this? A little out of the box thinking? And if you do, we'll do more like that for you. From Professor DIY, Mrs. DIY and Elpida, let's build something together.